just a little tip, little winterization tip. Probably should have given you about a month ago, but it's not too late to do it for sure. Let me do a quick video on winterizing your sprayers. Most people don't think about this, and there have been plenty of years past that I haven't thought about this. But during the winter, of course, usually the humidities are kind of low. If you're down in the south, maybe maybe not so much, especially if you're up in the mountains or something like that. And there's a plunger in here. First of all, that's rubber there. This is kind of a diaphragm or a baffle. When you push out, it opens out that baffle there and lets air go this way and does not let it come back the other way. So it holds the pressure. But inside here, and I don't see any way to take that apart. Inside this plunger, on the end of this plunger here, there's a rubber seal, an O-ring or a gasket or a seal or something, more like an O-ring probably, and that can dry out during the winter. So if you're going to put your sprayer away from the winter, if you don't use it during the winter, and some of you might, then it's good to give it something that's going to keep it moist or keep it from drying out, I guess I'd say. So in years past, I've used WD-40. That's always worked for me. I don't think I would use a regular straight petroleum-based product because oil can be detrimental to rubber, corrosive, probably not the right word, but oil can break down rubber in some instances. I think maybe a transmission fluid would be okay because inside your transmission there's lots of O-rings, lots of rubber-based um, rings and gaskets and things like that. And therefore, I think maybe a transmission oil, a transmission fluid would be safe. But in this case, I've just got some Dawn liquid mixed with some water. The mixture is not anything. I put about like a tablespoon or a little bit more maybe in here in this little spray bottle, and you'll want to spray down. Any of these sprayers have inlets where you're actually pulling air as you're pumping. You're pulling air, pushing air here. You can't really see that, but so I would just spray in these inlets. Spray just a little bit down in there. And like I say, I've done WD-40 in the past. I just don't have any WD-40, or that's what I'd use probably right now. And just work it around. You want to make sure that that O-ring in there gets, see how it's coming out there. That lets you know it's gotten past the O-ring and it's going down into the chamber. So that should be lubricated fine for the winter. And then put that thing up. You should be good. Do all your sprayers like this, and it just keep you from drying out that O-ring. If the O-ring dries out, then it's not going to hold pressure. If it gets a crack in it and you try to pull pressure on it or push pressure down into it, then that O-ring, if it's cracked, if it's got a crack in that O-ring, as you push down and as you try to pressurize the tank here through the bottom of this, you're going to be bypassing some air through the O-ring back up this way, so it's not going to pressurize as well. It might work, but it might not work as well. It might take many more pumps. As sprayers get older, sometimes they'll lose their ability to pump up quickly, and that may be one of the reasons, because you're letting some air pass because it's got a cracked O-ring. So just try to avoid that by lubricating or in some way keeping those O-rings nice and pliable and wet, moist. Just keep them from drying out. That's what I'm trying to say. So this is a good one. I've shown you this before. That little Chapin. It's a 1 gallon. Sometimes the 1 gallon is perfect. Sometimes you need 2.5 gallon ones. I've got those too. But do all your sprayers with something. Maybe WD-40. Maybe this. You might want to try transmission fluid, and I may try that next year. I don't know. But I've read that transmission fluid would probably not hurt any kind of seals or O-rings, simply because that's what's inside transmissions is seals and O-rings and a lot of rubber stuff. Now I don't know whether the O-ring in this sprayer is rubber or whether it's some kind of synthetic material. That I don't know. Since we don't know that, if it is rubber, then oil itself might hurt it. So that's why I say do something maybe other than oil. WD-40 It, I think, loosely based on petroleum product. It's got more stuff in it than that, but it's never hurt mine. So it might be a good thing to put in there. Would be WD-40. If you got some on hand, just get 1 or 2 little squirts. Don't go crazy with it. Pump it up and down 2 or 3 times. Get that thing lubricated, and you're good for the winter. Just a little tip, little winterization tip. Probably should have given you about a month ago, but it's not too late to do it for sure. So a little short tip that might keep your sprayers around for a few more years. I think that's it. We're gone.